today we are supposed to discuss with the Companies Act 2013, right? It is a very important chapter, not as per the exams also, but very soon, maybe you can say another 2 months, you will be coming to the executive also, definitely, right? And the moment you comes to executive, you need to cover the portion of company law for 100 marks. And as you know, the moment you become a company secretary, your bread and butter, your life is always what? The company law. Though there are so many laws which are applicable in your syllabus, but the main law is what? It is the Companies Act, right? And because of this, I request you everyone to please focus on this subject, this chapter, not only for the exam point of view, but also for the point of view of your learning point, right? So that you can become a good company secretary in near future, right guys? Perfect. Companies Act 2013 we are going to discuss. So what is Companies Act 2013, how it came into picture, everything I will tell you, right? So Companies Act total have around 470 section, right? Before Company Act 2013 we had a Company Act which was known as Companies Act 1956, right? If I tell you the journey and the history of Companies Act, let me tell you, Tata Steel company, Tata Steel was incorporated in 1907. Tata Steel. So you can imagine that Tata Steel was not in 2013 Act also. It was not in 1956 Act also. Before 56, we had an act now known as 1913. Before this also, there was an act called as 1881, and Tata Steel was under this Companies Act. So you can imagine Tata Steel has crossed around 113 years. 113 years has been elapsed till now, and Tata Steel is working well. So Tata Steel was under this act. After that, we had a Companies Act 1913, then 1956 and 2013. Yeah, Ankita says, I am from Steel City, Bokaro, Jamshedpur. I also belong to Jamshedpur only, though I stay in Nagpur right now, but I am born and brought up in Jamshedpur, Bokaro, right? So anyways, so what we are going to discuss is the same thing which you can see in the sheet right now. Right. So basically, what is Companies Act 2013? Nothing, simple. There are 3 words: Companies Act 2013. And I hope you know my style of teaching. And that is 2013 is the year in which it has been enacted. Act is a bill which has been presented to the Parliament. Then we have 2 houses: Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and so and so. So whatever is main is the word company. So tell me, what is the meaning of company? Company. So if I talk about the word company, please focus on my example. Company, there are basically 3 to 4 angles to understand the word company. One is called as English. Second one is called as origin. Third one is called as meaning. And the fourth one is called as definition. There are the 4 words, very important, right, in company. One is English, origin, then the meaning and definition. So when I talk about English, what is the meaning of word company in English? In layman language, when we say company means what? Sir, normally whenever we go for a movie, a picnic, anything, normally do you go alone? No, you want someone's company. I can bet you many people use this word daily life. Not in last 3 months, because we are going with the corona and pandemic and all, but before 3 months, before March, whenever you go for a movie, what you say to your friend? In Hindi, normally you say, "Dost chal raha hai movie dekhne ke liye. Chal raha hai movie. I am going to watch this movie. Will you join me?" But then when you talk in English, normally you say, "Will you accompany me?" When you go for a long drive, when you go for a movie, when you go for dinner, whatever, you want someone's company. Company means togetherness. In English, it is basically meaning of togetherness, right? Very simple. Normally no one goes alone. It is very boring to go alone. It is normally everyone focus, okay, let's go together. But if I talk about origin, it was not for the movie or anything. The origin was basically for the concept of meal. And in origin, we have a word called as com and panis. So when we say com means basically together, and the word panis basically means meal. So what used to happen? Understand, friends, if I talk about 11th century, now today we are into what? Today into 21st century, right? But if I talk about 11th century, 11th century. From today, you can say 10 centuries back, right? 1,000 years back. So what used to happen that time? There were people who used to travel. You have seen that movie Bahubali. I can bet everyone who is watching video right now, they have seen the movie Bahubali. And in Bahubali, we have a concept of the person going to other cities or other states to do the business. And when they used to travel from one city to the other city, let's say today I'm staying in Nagpur. I want to travel to Kolkata. I will reach in Kolkata within 2 hours. I'll go to airport, take a flight, and I'll reach Kolkata. But earlier days, what used to happen? They used to go by bullock cart, or you can say the horse, or either by walking. So many people did in these 3 months because of COVID. All the laborers who stays in Mumbai or Maharashtra, whatever, they traveled to their hometown, and they traveled for months and months, 50 days to 40 days like this. Traveled, walk like this. So what I'm trying to say, in earlier days also, people used to walk from one city to other city either by walking or by bullock cart or by horse or whatever example. And they used to travel 2 months to go to a place, do the business and come back. Again, go to some other place for 2 months, do the business and come back. So what is I'm talking about? Because of this, they normally don't have a lifetime to spend with their family. And whenever they used to come back to their home city, the family used to sit together and have a meal together. In today's life also, now from past 3 months we are staying at home. That's okay. But I'm talking about before past 3 months. Your father used to go to office, your mother might be going to office, your younger or elder brother used to go to college or whatever, and you are also going to classes and all. So normally what happens is, for the meal of day, a day's meal is not been taken together. But normally every family has this concept that at least the dinner should be taken together so that we can spend time. Otherwise, no one knows कि मेरे पापा कहाँ चले गए, मम्मी कहाँ चले गई. We normally don't meet and sit with those people for years now. It is a fact. It is a fact. So every family has this rule that at least in the dinner time, we will sit together and have a meal together. So at that time, we will talk to each other. We will have a bonding each other like this. So anyways, what I'm trying to say, the origin was basically with the concept of meal. But when I talk about meaning, you have heard about this meaning. You have heard about the company is a voluntary association, all this thing. So if I tell you company is top class, what is company? Top class, right? What is company? Company is top class. If I ask you what is company, how is company, you should say top class, right? Top class. And we'll discuss now the basic thing that is called definition, for which we are supposed to cover the syllabus, and that is section number 2 clause 20. Section 2 clause 20. Okay. Ketan says first class. No, it's not first class, it's top class. Okay. So company, if I ask you what is company, how is company, you should say it's a top class, right? So section 2 clause 20 defines the word company, and what it says company means a company. Very, very funny line. Company means a company which is formed and registered under this act. This act means 2013 or any other previous company law. So company means a company which is formed under this act 2013 or any other previous company law. So it can be 56, it can be 2019, 13, all this thing. Don't worry, Tanu and Ruchika is asking what is the meaning of top class. Just have a patience. Let me keep something as a suspense. Top class. So what is top class? I'll tell you within a couple of moments, right? So there are the 4 categories. I hope you understood these 4 categories. I'll repeat one more time and I'll make it full screen for you so that you can note it down or you can take a snapshot of this also, right? Just a second. Yes, so you can make it a full snapshot of this, the complete slide, complete thing in one picture. Company has a 4 category: English, origin, meaning and definition, right? I hope you have taken this. What is top class? It is something suspense. I'll tell you within a couple of moments. Wait for 5-10 minutes, right? I'll do that. Done, guys? Should we go ahead then? Company. Right? Fine. So this is what is Companies Act. Total we have around 470 sections, as you can see, right? And out of this, these sections has been notified. The 40 section has been transferred to IBC. So nothing, no need to cover in this syllabus. 470 sections are there in total Companies Act. Out of this, 40 sections has been transferred to IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. And then one section is yet to be notified, means it is yet to be starting, yet, right? So we'll understand that. So total Company Act has around 430 sections, right? Okay. So how the Company Act has been managed? Again, you can see this, how the company has been managed. So every act, everything has a ministry. I hope you know about the toppest authority in India. That is obviously the Government of India, GOI, Government of India, Narendra Modi ji, right? Ketan Bhandari. Everyone is trying to decode the word top class. Meanwhile, I am teaching you something. Please focus on that. I will be teaching you, right? Please focus on this. Government of India. So the toppest authority is Government of India. Okay. Everyone knows that under Government of India, we have ministries like Ministry of Home Affairs. Who is Ministry of Home Affairs? Minister, Home Affairs. Then Ministry of Railway, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Power, Ministry of Road, Ministry of Human Resource. Yes, Amit Shah, Ministry of Home Affairs, right? Rail Minister, Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman, right? Yes. Road Minister, Nitin Gadkari, right? Piyush Goyal. HRD Minister, Smriti Irani, HRD Minister, Human Resource, right? So anyways, I hope you understood this. There are so many ministries. Out of that ministry, we have a ministry called as MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Yes, HRD is Education Minister is this, right? Sorry. HRD is Ramesh Pokhriyal. Yeah, recently we have heard about this name. I was confused with HRD and this education. When we talk about Education Minister, it is this, right? Anyways, so yeah, there are so many ministries, right? Out of this ministry, we have a MCA, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and the Ministry of Corporate Affairs is same. Which same? The person who takes care of Ministry of Finance, that is Nirmala Sitharaman, right? Simple. So this is Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So the toppest authority which we deal is the MCA. So let me tell you, whenever you read in Companies Act, will take approval from central government, will take approval of central government, we will intimate to central government, it will be notified by central government. When we say central government, it means what? BJP government? It means what? Congress government? It means what? Modi Sarkar? No. It means whenever we say CG means MCA. CG doesn't mean here, this one. It is not CG, sorry. When we say government, it doesn't mean Modi or doesn't mean BJP or Congress, because maybe before 10 years Congress government was there, maybe in 10 years down the line Congress government can be there. So ministry, government can change, but ministry will never change. Ministry will never change. So remember the word, whenever we say CG, it should be the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, right? Okay. How many ministries are there? Sir, one ministry, MCA single. So what they did, they made so many RDs, regional directors, right? Regional directors. So many regional directors. So we have around 7 regional directors in our country. 7 regional directors. And regional directors take care of the region. So to take care of the states, we have the ROCs, Registrar of Companies, ROC. So please explain CG. CG means central government. I told you, whenever we say central government, it doesn't mean Modi. It doesn't mean BJP. It means for our syllabus, it is MCA. When railway people say government, then what they mean? They mean Rail Ministry. Right? MHA, Ministry of Health. MHA. You are saying day to day Ministry of Health guidelines, MHA guidelines. Right? So MHA is different. So for Corona, who is central government? Sir, MHA, Ministry of Health Affairs. So this is a word, when we say CG, CG means not always Modi. Not always the party, BJP, Congress, these are not the CG, right? So you need to understand what I'm trying to say, right guys? So this was a simple meaning to understand in this language, right? Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead then. So I hope you understood these three parameters. I'll mark it red, MCA, then we have RDs, and then we have ROCs. So I hope you understood this meaning of the word, right? So MCA, it's a regulate who cooperate with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs of India. Basically, you can say Companies Act 56 or 2013 or all this thing will come under this, right? Second is RDs. I told you there are how many RDs in India? 7 RDs, regional directors who take care of the regions, northeast, west, south, southeast, like this, right? So we have a different categories like this. And lastly is the ROC, registrar of companies, who takes care of the registrar, that is the company. So whenever you incorporate a company, when you become a company secretary or when you start your articleship, you need to inform everything to ROC. Last time we discussed about the Partnership Act and we discussed everything to ROF, registrar of registrar of firms in company law, sorry, in partnership law, right? Wait a minute. Zoom, okay. Right, so I hope you can see now. Perfect. Right, okay. Now I hope you are able to see that easily. So third is ROC, Registrar of Companies. I hope you know about ROCs. How many ROCs are there in India? How many ROCs are there in India? I hope you have heard about this. In every state we have one ROC. Every state we have one ROC, but there are 2 states which have 2 ROCs. In the whole India, there are 2 states which have 2 ROCs. Every state has normally one ROC, but in India we have 2 states which have 2 ROCs. Right? One is Maharashtra and second is Tamil Nadu. Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu. Maharashtra, MH and TN. In Maharashtra we have Mumbai and Pune, and in Tamil Nadu we have Chennai and Coimbatore. So there are 2 ROCs in this 2 states. So you can say almost 4 ROCs in 2 states only. 4 ROCs in 2 states. Otherwise, normally in every state we have normally 1 ROC. So if I show you just for knowledge, I hope you can see this. This is also mca.gov.in. So you can always see this, right? If you see here, if you go here, everything you can find it out, right? What are the do's and don'ts, everything you can find it out here. About MCA, you can go and check it out, that what is MCA, how it works, everything you will come under this, right? Right, everything will come under this category. You can also understand this also, how many RDs are there. If you want to understand the RDs, I told you how many RDs are there. 7 RD. One is into Eastern. I hope you can see this. Eastern, Southern. You can say Southern or Southern, whatever. Okay. Eastern, Southern. Then Northern, West region. So North is Southwest. This is 4, and then remaining is Northwest. Right? It caters the Gujarat and all. Then Southeast. It will cover this Telangana and all this thing, right? And the Northeast, you know everything about this Manipur, Mizoram, Meghalaya, Assam, Tripura, Nagaland, everything comes under this. So like this, we have 7 RDs, right? You want to understand ROCs? ROCs, you can see this like a map, and by this you can understand how many ROCs are there. Right? You can find it out like this also. Again, it will not come in your exam, but just for a knowledge and all this thing, you can find it out like this. Wherever ROC is there. So Telangana is 1 ROC, Andhra Pradesh 1 ROC, right? Everything is written there. Bihar, Jharkhand 1 ROC, Chhattisgarh 1, Delhi, Haryana 1, Goa, Diu, Daman 1, Gujarat 1, Jammu Kashmir 1, Karnataka 1, Kerala 1, Madhya Pradesh 1, Maharashtra. If you see A and B, A is Pune and B is, see the left side, B is Pune. And similarly, Tamil Nadu will come later on. Tamil Nadu, A is Chennai, B is Coimbatore. I hope you can see this, right? Right side. A is Chennai, B is Coimbatore. just for knowledge, right? Because whenever you want to go into executive also, I need to focus on the quality. Exam also they will ask you and all this thing. So you should know the basic things, right? So this was all about the first part. You understood this. Then this is a BEAR Act. I hope you know about the BEAR Act. Everyone should know the BEAR Act, the proper law. And this is the BEAR Act, Bharat Ka Rajpatra, Gazette of India. And everyone knows the act came into, if I talk about this, it has been presented to the parliament, then approved by Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. If I talk about Rajya Sabha, it was in December 2012. December 2012, and Lok Sabha, LS, it was approved in, you can say, 29th August 2013. 29th August 2013. So did we had a class on 17 June? Yes, we had a class on 17 June. Video is uploaded in the ICSI YouTube channel. Right. So 29th August it was notified, and 30th August it was been presented in the Gazette, if you see. And the act was came into which date? If you see this, understand, right? Act was came into which date? The following act was received the assent of President on 29th August 2013 and published in the Gazette on 30th August, right? Perfect. So I told you every act has what? Preliminary, and preliminary always cover two sections, section 1 and section 2. What is section 1? Remember, friends? What was section 1? Anyone can tell me? If you remember whatever I've taught you last time also in the 3 acts, section 1. Section 1. Section 2, it talks about the preamble. We have 4 words in that, 4 things in that: title, extent, commencement, and applicability. I hope you remember this, right? Yes, perfect. And section 2 is definition. Definition, right? Beautiful, perfect. Great, great, great. Fine. So let's go ahead. Section 1, preliminary. Section 2, definition, right? So let's start section 1 first. Section 1, I'll teach you from this way. That would be better to see. I hope you can see this easily. Yeah. Short title, extent, and commencement, right? Short title, extent, commencement. What's the title of the act? So Companies Act 2013. Very simple. Second is whole of India. Nothing to do with Jammu Kashmir and all. It has been not amended also. It was already whole of India. Before this article 370 also, it was whole of India. So no need to do about that. So what is commencement? If I ask you, so when Contract Act came? When Contract Act came, so you will say 1 September 1872. When I'll ask you when the SOGA came, you will say, sir, 1 July 1930. If I ask you, sir, when Partnership Act came, sir, easy, 1 December, October 32. So these dates you are known, easily aware about this. But if I ask you when the commencement of Companies Act is there, actually there is no date. So why no date? Because the whole act has not been notified at once. It has been notified in different dates. No, that's not notified. That's not a date. The problem is that the act was got assent from the president on 29th August. I am talking about the notification. Even I hope you have seen this. If I show you the first slide, this one. Even if I tell you what is written here, sections which are not yet enforced. Even now, Act came in 2013. Now we are living in 2020. Even after 7 years, one section is still what? Still pending. One section is still pending till now also. So we can't say that Act has been notified. So we don't have a date for this. We don't have a date for this, right? In 7 years, the Act was enforced in several times. Different times, different sections were notified. And that is why we don't have a proper date or proper time in our Act. So you can always say blindly, whenever someone asks you, was the date of contract? You say, sir, 1st September. For sale of goods act, you say 1 July. Every date you give very proudly, very easily, but you don't have a date for the Companies Act, right, guys? And the fourth one is application. It is applicable to whom? So obviously, first of all, applicable to all the companies incorporated in India. Incorporated in India, right? Understand this word, in India. Because if I ask you, can the Companies Act be applicable to Google or Facebook or Microsoft or Alibaba? Will the Companies Act be applicable to all these people? The answer should be no, 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 no. Sir, how you know? Why you said no? Because we need to understand the 6 points. It is the applicability. And the 6 points are focusing on what? Companies, but which companies which are incorporated on India? Incorporated on India, right? Second, insurance company, right? Third is banking companies, but everything should be in India, right? Fourth is companies producing and supplying electricity. And the fifth one is companies having special act. Act means like ICSI, ICAI. They have a special act, right? Perfect. Great. So understand this line first of all, then we'll go ahead. Please explain fifth point again. Fifth point is a special act. I hope you know about the statutory companies like RBI. RBI has an act. Companies Act is applicable to RBI also. Then second is our ICSI. I hope you know about ICSI Act 1980, ICAI Act 1949. So our institute is a separate act also. We are also company and we are also act. So please tell about commencement. I told you about commencement. We don't have a date of commencement. I told no date of commencement. Act will enforce on the different dates. It is written different dates. Different dates. We do not have a single date as we say in this chapter. Here we have a dates, but we don't have a date in okay. Now let's go ahead then. So this was all about the basic things. Now what we discussed right now? What we discussed right now? I hope I have told you this meaning. Company means a company. Have a two words, com and panis, right? Com means together, panis means bread. So whenever the people who come together for business, we can say that they are into a company. And when we discuss about the definition, I told you section 2 clause 20. What is the definition? It says company means a company. Wow. What law says? Company means a company. Otherwise, what we were understand that company means HUF. But law says no. Company means not HUF. Company means a company. So if someone is not able to understand what is company, then law has clarified it that company means a company. Company means a company, but then okay, it was a funny way, but then it's not so funny because lawmakers has made something, so they are not doing any wrong thing. What they mean to say, company means okay. So no, understand like this. Company means a company formed and registered under this act or any existing company. Okay, understand like this. Company means, so I took in a funny way, but now let's understand what happens if you go to a city. Normally you can see a shop of a watch. A shop normally which sells the watch, and normally the name of the shop would be National Watch Company. Then if I say it's a Tushar Pahade company, then you have known about D company. So what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to just prove is that just putting the word of the name company doesn't give a meaning of the word Companies Act. That is why it is written here, that it's not a company which you say as a company. Company means that company which is formed and registered under this act. When we say this act, it means 2013. I told you this act. Which act is going on? 13. Or any which company existing. It means what? So the company which has been incorporated before 13, like Reliance Industries, Tata Steel, I told you. Tata Steel, I told you. So every company has a characteristic, every company has a year of incorporation, and the Company Act will be covered as per that logic. Right? So when we say this act, it means 2013 act. If we say previous company or existing company, it means a company which was under before act, like the act which was not applicable in 2013. So before 13, which act was there? 1956. And Reliance company was incorporated in 1956 act. Reliance, okay, ICSI comes under which act? Okay, it comes under today's act also, but ICSI comes under which category? This act or existing category? ICSI. Will it come under this act or existing company? The answer is existing, sir, because ICSI came into picture in 1980. 80. Reliance, Tata, Satyam, Wipro, Mahindra, you name it, and you can see there are many companies which are in which category? Existing category. Simple. But let's say you become company secretary and now you want to start a company. Let's say Sneha and Lakshmi both want to start a company. Can they do it today or tomorrow? Maybe next month? Yes, they can do. In that case, which act will be applicable to those? So obviously, New Company Act. So I hope you understood the example of this line. Yes, perfect. Which act is applicable? Obviously, Companies Act. Which act is applicable to companies? Reliance, Companies Act. Every company in India has applicable into Companies Act. Only one act is available, na? Companies Act 2013 only. 56 is not there. Please understand. 56 is not there. It has been removed. We have only one Company Act, that is called as 2013. So please explain the meaning of the company meaning again. Existing company. The company which has been incorporated before 2013 is existing. Act came in 2013. Any company which has been incorporated after 2013 will come under this act. We are discussing about which act? Achha, tell me, which act we are studying? Which act we are studying? 13. Which act is this? 13. So any company which has been registered under, when I'm saying this act, means 2013. So it's very common sense that if a company is incorporated in 2011, will it be incorporated under 13 act or previous act? Tell me. Very common sense, but I should even not ask this question. But then I'm getting the comments, so that's why I'm discussing this point. If a company is incorporated in this act, 2011, then which act? Obviously previous act, 56. And it will be called as which company? Existing company. But if company has been incorporated in 2016, company is incorporated in 2016. Company is incorporated in year 2016. So which act? Obviously, sir, this act, 13 act. Simple. Right. Anamika is asking, sir, if a company has been incorporated in 2012, which act is एक मिनट अनामिका, 2011 doesn't have an act, please understand. It was a year of incorporation. Act was 2013 only. Before 13 we had an act called as 56. Every year we don't have an act. Contract Act is 1872. Every year we don't make an act. Act was known as 2013. Before 13 we had a 56 Act. We do not have a 2011 Act or 2012 Act. Any company which was incorporated before 2013 will come under obviously which Act? 56. 56. Batraji, yes, whatever you said is right. But you are not supposed to study now. You need to study in next year. That is executive. Prachi Jindal is saying more confusing. Great. What is confusing in that? Please tell me. I will repeat one more time. Not an issue. अच्छा, I'll repeat one more time for हिंदी. देखो भाई, अभी कौन सा साल चल रहा है, कौन सा एक्ट चल रहा है? 2013. कौन सा एक्ट चल रहा है? एक्ट चल रहा है. कौन सा एक्ट चल रहा है अभी? कंपनीज एक्ट 2013 चल रहा है. इसके पहले का जो एक्ट था उसका नाम था कंपनीज एक्ट 56. बराबर. कंपनी एक्ट 56 था इसके पुराना एक्ट. और अभी जो एक्ट चल रहा है उसका नाम क्या है? 13 का एक्ट है. अब बहुत सिंपल सा पॉइंट है सर, ये एक्ट नया आया 2013 में. इसके पहले कौन सा एक्ट था सर? इसके पहले सर 56 का एक्ट था. तो जो कंपनी कब बनी है? 1956 से 2013 के बीच में. और 13 में भी कौन सा डेट सर? विच डेट? अगस्त 2013 तक के बनी है. वो सारी कंपनी कौन सी कैटेगरी में आती होंगी? ऑब्वियसली पुराने कंपनी एक्ट में आती होगी. बट जब हमारे पास कौन सा एक्ट आ गया? 29 अगस्त को कौन सा एक्ट आ गया हमारे पास? नया एक्ट आ गया. यहां से लेकर टिल नाउ जो कंपनियां बनी है और आगे भी जो कंपनियां बनेंगी वो कौन से एक्ट में आएगी सर? ऑब्वियसली 2013 के एक्ट में आएगी. सिंपल, बहुत सिंपल सी चीज है. अब आप पूछे सर 2011 में कंपनी बनी तो सर कॉमन 11 में बनी तो कहां जाएंगी? 2013 एक्ट में. अरे, a company incorporated in 2014 is also referred as a no. 14 है मतलब कौन सी एक्ट है? नया एक्ट है. तो वो कौन से कैटेगरी में आएगी? दिस एक्ट में आएगी. 2012 है तो कहां जाएगी? ओल्ड में जाएगी. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एग्जिस्टिंग कंपनी. It was very simple. It's for very simple. Please understand. Okay, let's go to characteristic of company. Characteristics of company, right? Okay, I told you something called as top class. I told you something called as top class. Now let's decode this top class. What is top class? Top class, right? Let's understand one by one quickly. Kushi, if a company is incorporated in 1950, which act? So before act 1913. I told you right now. I guess you have joined later on. If company incorporated in 1950, 1913. And now if you ask sir, what about 1901? Then before that. Now if you ask someone, ask me sir, what about 1850? Before that act. Nothing to do with now today. Today we have to study which act? 2013. Simple. Top class. Now what I did is I modified this features, whatever you see in your notes. These are the features everyone knows. You have even seen. Soumya Soni, please excuse me. Top class. Top class, right? Top class, the full form of top class. What is the meaning of the one word? T for, we can say, transferability of shares, right? O means ownership of a company. P means perpetual succession, right? C for capacity to sue. L for limited liability, right? A for association of persons, association of persons. S for separate legal entity, or remaining S is for separate property. I hope you understood this line. So by this, what you can see is, you can remember this thing. So I'm teaching this from last 10 years, 10, 11 years, I'm teaching like this. So everyone remembers like this. So it is very simple to understand, right? And there are many things. Common seal is not in existence now. Common seal has been removed in 2015. Common seal is not in picture. There is nothing called as common seal in today's life. If anyone want to keep, they can keep it. If they want to remove it, they can remove it. Common seal is not used. Common seal is not used in today's life from past 5 years. Top class. TOP, top class. You can remember everything easily. T for transferability of shares. So in a company, everyone can transfer shares anytime, right? Ownership, everyone knows the company's ownership is different and the management is different, right? If you are a joint ownership, joint stock company, right? If you can incorporate a joint stock company, then we have a concept of ownership, and you know that owner is different and management is different. Ownership is different, management is different. If you incorporate a partnership firm, the person who invest money, right? What I'm trying to say, if you incorporate what? If you incorporate a partnership firm, normally what you do, you yourself incorporate a company or other firm, and you yourself do the business. In what? In partnership firm. But what happens in the company? The owners are different and the partners are different, right? It is very simple line. Then succession, I told you, you know that company is a separate person, it's a separate legal entity, company is a separate person, so company never dies. Everyone thing you have covered in your studies, right? Then company will sue, you will sue the company only, right? If let's say I say Tushar Pahar is teaching you wrong, if I'm teaching you wrong concepts, everything, if you are not happy with my teaching, or if you think that Tushar sir committed me that he will teach me companies at part 1, part 2 also, but I'm not taking your classes, let's say, so can you file a case on me? No, you can't file a case on me. You'll file a case on ICSI, because ICSI is a company. You had a contract with company, not with me. We never had a contract with each other. I have never called you to study from me. You have never asked me, Tushar sir, will you teach us? There was no contract between we people, between ICSI and you. So you need to talk to ICSI, right? Right. So there is a capacity to sue. Then next is limited liability. So liability of members is limited to the extent of whatever they purchase shares. So let's say you know about this capital also, you have studied in earlier also. A shareholder is purchasing, let's say, 10 shares, and every share is having value of 10 rupees each. 10 share of 10 each. So what is the liability of the shareholder? Only 100 rupees. Person has 10 shares of 10 each. So what is the liability of that person? 100 rupees. Not beyond that. Not beyond that. Right? If any loss is there to the company, the loss will be borne by company itself. Company will not ask you to pay the money, because you are separate person and company is separate person. Right, guys? This is also to be understood in a simple manner. Everything is given in the notes, also in the module. I hope I'll also open the module also, whatever is given to you people. Yeah, just for a knowledge, I will open it so that I can tell you that whatever we are studying, we are also discussing in the notes, everything, right? Right, this one. We discuss the company, the meaning, the characteristics, right? All these things we are discussing basically. So this is written here. Perfect. Yeah. Should we go ahead then? These are simple points which have been mentioned in the notes also, and your syllabus also you have covered earlier also, I guess. The next point is advantage of company. Why to incorporate a company? Why to incorporate a company? Like compared to, okay, please open this topic of top class so that you can take a snapshot. Okay, 1 minute. Right. Please take it as a snapshot. I will be waiting for 1 minute, then we'll start. Separate property means, obviously, separate property means example where if the money is invested by the partners or the members also, still the property belongs to company. Asset will be of company, liability will be of company, everything will be of company. It's called a separate property. Characteristics of company. Vidushi, sir, how is ownership different from separate legal entity concept? Separate legal entity means the company is separate and the members are separate. Ownership means the people who manage the business are separate and owners are separate. There are two different things. When we talk about ownership, we differentiate between directors and members. Let's say if I'm talking about, actually I'm a shareholder of Reliance Industries. I'm owning shares of Reliance, Tata. I am having shares of this company. So I am the owner of the company. But do I manage the business? No. So that is talking about ownership versus management. And what you are talking about legal entity, that is different. Company is different and Tushar Pai is different. That is two different things. Okay, let's go ahead then. We have almost covered for 1 hour. Great. Now let's go with the next topic, that is called as advantages and disadvantages. What is this chapter topic? Simple. Why to go for a company? So company is a separate entity. The liability of the members are limited. Company will never die. Members will come, members will go. But the company will remain forever. And we have example of Tata Steel. The person who incorporated Tata Steel was Jamshed Tata. Now he is not in the company. Then we have a person called as Ruzi Modi. He ran the company for many years. Then we have Ratan Tata. And then after that, Saras Mistry. Everyone came and left. Ratan Tata also came and then he left. Same goes with Infosys. Who was the person who incorporated Infosys? Anyone knows Infosys? Who was the person behind Infosys? If you can comment on chat box. Narayan Murthy. Perfect. But does Narayan Murthy takes care of the business now? Does Narayan Murthy takes care of the business now? No. So what does it mean? It's the meaning of perpetual succession, that even if he is there or not, company will go forever. Who was the person of CCD? Who was the person who incorporated CCD? The name of the person is VGS. Yes, VG Siddhartha. Now, is it alive? Is he alive or dead? And says he is dead. He's dead. but 60 days has been running or it has been closed. Obviously, it is running, right? So what I'm trying to say that people will come, people will go, company will continue forever, right? Then you can transfer shares in anyone easily, everything. Property is same. Goodwill belongs to company. Name belongs to company. Everything belongs to company. So these are advantages. But what is the disadvantage of forming a company? So formalities. To start a company is not an easy task. It will take a lot of guts to start a company, right? Then compulsory disclosure. You know about that annual report. Every year the company has an AGM. They tell to people the reports, dividend, profitability, losses, everything they need to disclose. So there is nothing called as what? Secret in this company. Everything has been what? Everything is what? Disclosed to the people. Nothing is hidden, nothing is suspicion or all this thing. So that is the meaning of word no secrecy, and everything has to be disclosed. Owner will not have a control, which we discussed right now. Ownership. Owner will don't not have a control on the members or the management. Owners are different, management is different. Then lastly, greater tax burden. You can't have a possibility to avoid taxes. Taxes avoidance is possible in what? In other examples. But in our syllabus, you can't avoid the taxes. Taxes avoidance is not possible. You need to pay taxes at the regular interval, right? That is an important point. Great. Lastly, winding up procedure. So to incorporate a company also difficult task, and to wind up a company also difficult task. Now let's go to next topic. जिसका नाम है lifting of corporate wheel. Lifting of corporate wheel. Now understand by example. I request you not to talk about anything now. We'll discuss about the first case, which is called as the case of Solomon. Firstly, we'll discuss about the case of Solomon versus Solomon and Company Limited, right? The case of Solomon versus Solomon and Company Limited. Very interesting case. Please understand what I'm trying to teach you. Solomon versus Solomon and Company Limited, right? What was the case of Solomon versus Solomon and Company Limited? Okay, everyone should aware the case was started in 1890. 1890, who was Solomon? Sir, Solomon was a person who used to sell the shoe. He was a shoe manufacturer. He was a shoe and leather manufacturer. Solomon was a shoe and leather manufacturer. He used to sell different types of shoes and all. Pink, Jutia, all the shoes, all this thing, right? He used to sell all this thing in his business, and he was doing a business of sole proprietorship. Perfect. So he was doing business in 1890. 1890. ठीक है? I'm not giving any gali and all. I am saying jutiya. ठीक है ना? Juti, shadi, sandal, joti, all these things. So I'm talking in that way. Anyways. Okay, let's back to the diagram now. Okay, so this was the person who used to do a business of what? Shoe, leather, all these things. Perfect. Right. Now what he did, understand what he did. He was a family, and in this family, he was a son. He was having a son, daughter, and wife. Right. I hope you are aware about his story also. So he has a son also. He has 4 sons actually. Then 1 daughter and 1 wife. Right. In this situation, 1 wife is enough. So 1 wife. 7 people are there. So the son, they used to do the business with him. And what they said, Papa, हम भी business में काम कर रहे हैं और सारा profit आपको होता है, and you are running a business in the name of sole proprietorship. So please incorporate a company. We will also want to have a partnership. We will also become director. We will also become shareholder, like this. तो बच्चों को लगा कि यार हमगाना पे नाम आना चाहिए. So the kids approached father that please shut down this business of proprietorship and incorporate a company. So what father did, he incorporated a company. What father did is he incorporated a company, right? And the name of the company was kept as Solomon and Company. And who was he? He was a Solomon himself, right? He was Solomon himself, right? So these are the categories of this. Now, what happened? What he did when he incorporated a company? I'm not using Hindi. I'm just giving examples sometimes in Hindi. That is okay. So whatever. Anyways, so what Solomon did? He sold his business to the company. He sold his business to a company. Achha. As per law, what is company? A separate person. What is a company? Separate person. What is Solomon? A separate person. So what company did? Company said, okay, we will give you the consideration. So the amount came is around 38,782 pound. And what Solomon did? He transferred all the assets, all the liabilities, all the properties, everything given to the company. Right? I hope you understand the diagram, everything. Solomon, what he did? He transferred all assets, all liabilities, everything to the company, and in return, company agreed to pay him how much amount? 38,782 pound. It's not a case of India. It's a UK case, pound. Okay, but the company doesn't have the full money. So company said, we will pay you in 3 parts. Okay, sir, which parts? One is shares, one is debentures, and remaining is cash. Right? 3 categories we will pay. So first category is shares, and the amount was for the shares is 10,000 pound. 10,000 pound shares, 20,000 pound debentures, and balance is how much? 8782 is the cash. I hope you got the meaning. Simple. So this is how it is decided. I hope you can see the diagram. I'll remove myself, and what I'll do is I'll keep it full screen so that you can always focus on the notes rather than focusing on me. Right. Perfect. It is perfectly visible now. Everyone can easily see the complete slide. Great. 38,782 pound. If you also want to see through your module, if you see your module, you can see like this. I hope you can see this like this. I request you to kindly go and watch the case also, right? I hope you can see this 38,782 pound, out of which what they did is they did the debentures. Okay, sorry, I did a mistake, a small mistake I did, and that is the figures, nothing else. 20,000 and 10,000. 10,000. And the remaining what amount? 8782 in cash. 8782 in cash. Like this he received from the company, right? And the total amount came to how much amount? 38,782 pound. Right? I told you how much, what is the family? His family was, I hope you can see this line. Himself, his wife, daughter, and how many sons? 4 sons. Like this, Chota tha parivar tha. It was a small family, right? Of 7 people. Himself, his wife, daughter, and 4 sons. And what happened? I told you the whole story. What was the background? This was the case. Now, problem is not this case. It was okay. This is not a case actually. The case started now. The case started now. What happened now? I want you to take the photo of this. If you want to take a snapshot of this, please take it within 10 seconds. Then we start. Take a photo of this. Simple. Okay. Now let's go ahead. So what is the amount which came? This one amount. We have discussed all these things. Perfect. Now what happened? Remember, in future, after 2 years, company went into losses. Company went into losses after 2 years. And because of losses, what happens is the people, the outsiders, filed a case. They filed a case on whom? On the Solomon. They filed a case on Solomon, saying that you need to what? You need to pay us. So the total assets of the company were only how much? Assets which has to be sold belongs to only how much pound? 6080 pounds. Sorry, 6050 pounds. Only. And the liabilities, outside liability was around 18,000 pound. 18,000. Out of this 18,000, 10,000 were debentures and around 8,000 were outside liability, like creditors, like bank loan, all this thing. And don't go with the amount. The case is of around 130 years back. So that time 8,000 pound is very, 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 very big amount. 6,000 pound is a very huge amount that time. So do not go into figures. Understand the year also. It's the 1897 or like this. So anyways, so how much is asset? How much is asset? 6,000 pound. What's the liability? 18,000 pound. So do you think that the assets are enough to pay off the liability? Do you think the assets are enough to pay off the liability? Answer is obviously no. Okay, then what should be done? If the same would be a partnership firm, then what would have done? The partners would have been asked to pay the money. But since we are into company, the liability is what? LL, limited liability. And in this case, the partners, that is the people, Solomon, his wife, his daughter, son, these people are not compelled to bring the amount. So what will happen? This amount will be paid to the outsider. And in the preference, so preference will be, in which preference first will be given to whom? The insider or the outsider? Who will be getting first? The outsider or the first? The insider, logically. Now, don't talk about the outsider, don't use the word debenture or creditor, all this thing. I am asking you logic word, who will get first? Insider or outsider? So common sense. Everyone should say, who will get first? Outsider. Common sense. Okay. The problem is the outsiders are, this one was outsider. These people were, which one? This one. This one were outsider. And they were unsecured creditor. And this was the Solomon. I hope you remember Solomon. Here. Look. Solomon was having a debentures. Debentures of how much? 10,000 pound. And debentures are always secured. So if I ask you logically, who should get first? Logically. Insider or outsider? Everyone will say, sir, this person. Logic, I am asking you logic. Insider or outsider? Everyone will say, sir, these people. But if I talk about law, there's a difference between law and logic. What is the difference between law and logic? Law and logic may difference. What is logic? Logic says that the person who is the outsider should get first because Solomon is the insider. No, I am not talking about secured and secured. Forget everything. If I ask you, who will get first? Solomon will get first or outsider will get first? Remove everything. Just focus on logic, common sense. Everyone will say, so Solomon is the insider. Who is outsider? These people. Give him first. So people will say, give him first. Acha, Soumya Gupta is saying, so Solomon is outsider also of the company. Are you talking about law or logic? Are you talking about law or logic? Mukesh Ambani is insider or outsider? If I ask you rather, Mukesh Ambani is what? Insider or outsider of company? So you will say, sir, outsider, sir, you have taught us the law. Okay, ignore everything and talk about common sense. Who is Mukesh Ambani? Insider or outsider? Common sense. I'm talking about common sense. Yes. So I'm talking about logic first. Logically, Solomon is insider, logically. And legally, Solomon is who? He is a secured debenture holder. And if you apply law, then Solomon will get the preference. Right. Tanu is right. Secured will get according to law. Perfect. So as per law, who will get first? Solomon, because he is holding what? Debentures. And who is holding outside money? So these people. And this will get later. But what happened? Comedy. Can you tell me what is the comedy here? Comedy is that Solomon incorporated a company. He did everything. So now understand my point. From tomorrow on, now understand my point. What I'm trying to say. Why I'm focusing on all this thing. Now there are around how many people watching the video? 200 people. Okay. Now imagine Tushar Pahade incorporated company. Understand my example. Tushar Pade incorporated company known as TP Academy. Example, TP Academy. And I said, all these people, 200 people, that everyone should give me 10,000 rupees, or not 10,000 actually, only 1,000 rupees. Only 1,000 rupees. I will teach you extra topics of law and whatever. I just said, give me 2,000 rupees. So how much everyone will give? 1 lakh, 2 lakh rupees. Understand my example. Please understand my example. Tushar Pade incorporated company. Name of the company is TP Academy. And how many people I am offering? 200 people. Now there are 200 people who are watching the video, right? Now what they will say, sir, please teach us extra point. I said, okay, give me 1,000 rupees. I will give you. I'll teach you. Now many people, everyone, let's take example. Everyone said, okay, sir, we will give you. And how much amount I got? 2 lakh rupees. Okay. Now what happened? This TP Academy, if you see the balance sheet of this TP Academy, if you see the balance sheet of this TP Academy, Tushar Pade name come here. Tushar Pade become what? A creditor. And my name is how much rupees? 2 lakh rupees. They kept me as a creditor. Now what will happen? I'll take money from you. And then tomorrow I will say, I will not teach. I will not teach. Class cancel. Is there fraud? Yes, sir. Then what you will do? You will file a case. And at that time, you will become under this category, creditors, 2 lakh rupees. But I am having what? Debentures. And what I will get? Sir, I will get preference. So first, money will be paid to me, and this money will be paid to you. And before paying to you, the company will pay Tushar Pade 2 lakh rupees. Because Tushar Pade Academy appointed Tushar Pade as a teacher, right? I was a teacher. And I have been given a debenture holding also. So I will take 2 lakh rupees. So what happened actually? You paid 2 lakh rupees and you get a zero amount. Ille. Nothing. Nothing. Are you getting my example? Complete example. And if you ask logically, who is Tushar Pade of TP Academy? Tushar Pade कौन है TP Academy में? Outsider or insider? Tell me. Now people will say, sir, if you talk about law, Tushar Pade is debenture holder. But can you see what I have did? So please understand, there are two different words. When I'm talking about law, is different. When I'm talking about logic, is different. Logically, everyone will say, Tushar sir, you and TP Academy both are doing fraud. You are one and the same. You are one and the same. But for the public, for the economy, for the law purpose, TP Academy is a separate entity. Tushar Pade is a separate entity. We both are different. And if students want to file a case, what I will say, sir, don't talk to me. Now when students come to me, Tushar sir, please give me money back. What should I say? Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. I have not did anything. Who did everything? Sir, TP Academy. Kitna comedy hai ye? So that is why the concept of what we are discussing now is a concept of what? Sorry, not this. This. Lifting of corporate will came into picture. Lifting of corporate will. Right? And listen to this. Anytime, if anyone does a business, which way? Fraudulent or dishonest business. Fraudulent or dishonest business. He will not be allowed to take shelter behind this. He will not be allowed to take shelter behind this, right? It's called as lifting of corporate will. So what law will do? Law will ignore the concept of this. I hope you can see this diagram. I will zoom it again for you. This one. So what law will do? Law will ignore the company and the people who are hiding behind this curtain. So now you will say, okay, sir. So whenever we incorporate a company, the first thing we need to do is purchase a curtain. Do you really think so? It is a real curtain? And do you really think that the directors and the partners and the promoters, they do the crime and they come back to the company and they hide behind the curtain? And then the people come running behind these people and they come to the office and they say, "Arey tum chupe ho curtain ke piche, chalo bahar niklo." And then people will get out of the curtain. Do you really think that it's a real curtain? No. It's an imaginary thing called as wheel, corporate wheel. So what I'm trying to say, what Tushar Pade did, what I did in this example, the previous example, this one, I incorporate a company. Saying that TP Academy. And what I'm trying to prove to the public, I'm saying that Tushar Pade is different and company is different. So law says we will ignore this academy. We will not take the example of this academy, and I will assume that it is a fake entity and Tushar Pade was everything in this case, and they will file a suit against me. It's called as lifting of corporate will. But when, sir? When you will prove that Tushar Pade was doing what business? Fraudulent and dishonest. And the example is everyone known to everyone. The example of Kingfisher. Kingfisher. Example of Gitanjali Jewelers. Example of PNB Bank. Example of Sahara Industries. Sahara. Subrata Rai. Example of Vijay Mallya. Kingfisher. The scam, the thing was done by Kingfisher. Who took the loan? Who took the loan from the banks? Example of Ketan Parekh. Yes. Ketan Parekh. Harshad Mehta. Right. So what I'm trying to say, what was who took the loan from bank? Vijay Mallya or Kingfisher? So again, answer is same. Answer is same. Who took the loan from bank? Who took the loan from bank in case of Kingfisher? The company or Vijay Mallya? So again, the answer would come like no, same. Soumya is saying, so Vijay Mallya. Answer is wrong. Who took the loan? It's a company. Company took the loan, because as per law, if you talk about law, so the company. If you talk about logic, then you will say, so company to hai nahi. Company is an artificial person. Then who would have taken loan? So Vijay Mallya. Like this. So whenever company Vijay Mallya is using the name of the company for which activity? Wrong activity. Then law will ignore the word company and then will find the culprit behind. And the culprit is what? Vijay Mallya. Right? So this is the example of this topic. Lifting of corporate will. Corporate will. Right. So this was a study at concept of corporate will. Now you don't have all this thing in your syllabus, right? If you see your syllabus, it is not in your syllabus. When you come to the executive level, you have all this thing, right? Nothing right now. We have advantage, disadvantage, and then just basic things you have given, and then directly you have a types of company and all, right? Then that day we discussed about the section 464. Do you remember? 464, illegal association. And we discussed that a company which has more than how many members? A partnership firm, more than 50 partners is illegal association, right? As per law, it is written 100. But I told you rule 10, current rule, as per current limit is how much? Maximum 50. I hope you remember this also. Yes, great. Right. So this was all about the first part. Basically, we discussed, not first part actually, the half of the chapter we discussed, and then we'll come to the topic of formation of company. How to form a company. Very simple section. We have some provisions, and I'll teach you the amendment also, which came into the recent times. The form number run and all this thing, the spice and run everything. Right. So what is promoter? Promoter. Now, okay, you understood the meaning of company. Okay, let's understand one by one what we discussed. Right, Spice Plus. Yeah, I'll be in. So what we discussed right now, we discussed the basically meaning of company, the features of company. So you understood that okay, company is a good thing, everything better. Let's go for a company. So now before going to company, what are the types of who are the people who can incorporate a company? Who will incorporate a company? First of all, so answer is sir, who will incorporate a company? So promoters. So who are the promoters? First of all, who are the promoters of the company? So law has given a meaning that promoters are basically nothing but the person who takes the steps to incorporate a company. Right. Vedika is saying something which has been taught in 11th and 12th. In your business studies, if you have done schooling in CBSE board, then you have heard and covered in business studies. If you have done in state board, then you have heard about that SPOC and all this thing. That is the basic provision which you have covered in 11th and 12th. But is it the right answer? Is it a right answer? Who is the promoter? So the person who takes the steps, everything is okay. Someone is asking to make the diagram. I'll give you 1 minute for this. Meanwhile, I'll take a water and all. Just 1 minute. I'm giving you this. So please do it quickly for 1 minute. I'll just come in a minute. Yes. Done. Perfect. Right. So whatever Lakshmi Priya said, whatever everyone said is right. Promoter is who? Promoter is the person who basically takes the steps, take the idea, everything right. But if I talk about law, if you see this page, law, it is different. Whatever you covered in your 11th, 12th, the person who conceives the idea, who brings the idea into reality, who starts the company is the promoter. So if I talk about in that angle, then there is no promoter in Tata Steel now. In Tata Group, there is no promoter left now. Are you sure? If I talk about Reliance Industries, there is no promoter left now. So the promoter of Reliance Industries was Dhirubhai Ambani, and he has died. The promoter of Tata Steel was Jamshed Tata. He has died, obviously. Then after that, the business was taken care by Ruzi Modi. He has also died. Then the business was taken care by Ratan Tata. He's not died, but then he's not taking care of the business. So if I talk about your language, what you said is a promoter, so that will be wrong. So that is why, again, whatever the answer you gave was the logic, was a common sense. But when we are discussing about the law, we have section 2 clause 69, which says the 3 people who are promoters. And in these 3 points, whatever you said till now is not included. Whatever you said is not included. First one is the person who has been named in the prospectus. You have heard about prospectus of the company when you issue shares and all, prospectus, or the section 92 that is called as annual return. Anyone whose name is written in this annual return or this prospectus will be called as promoter. Second point, who is the person who takes care of the business, who has a control over the affairs of the business. Any person who has a control over the business, who has the control. I hope you understood the word control. So can you say Mukesh Ambani is a promoter of Reliance? Can you say Mukesh Ambani is a promoter of Reliance? Answer will yes. Why yes, sir? But sir, as per your language, Mukesh Ambani has not incorporated a company. Yes, sir. He has not incorporated a company, but what he did? He has a control over the affairs of the company. He can be a shareholder. He can be a director, he can be otherwise, whatever way. But then the main word is he should have control. He should have control over the day-to-day affairs of the business, right? And the third word is सबसे बड़ा word, the most important word. Any person on whose direction, understand these three words, whose advice, whose direction and his instruction, the BOD is accustomed to act. So can you say Ratan Tata is the promoter? Can you say Ratan Tata is the promoter? Right now, Ratan Tata doesn't work in a company. So right now, Ratan Tata, yes. The people who are saying yes, the people who are saying no, let me tell you what is the answer. Ratan Tata, first point, is he named in the prospectus? No, because he's not existing. Now, does he control the company with shareholding or directorship? No. But point number 3 is very important. Do you think that Tata's advice will be taken by the people in the management? Do you think people used to ask Ratan Tata, does he have a control over that? And says yes, he has a control over that. And if he has a control over that, his advice, his direction, his instruction, people are following. People are following. And that is the example of the third word, promoter. So whatever you said, promoter means a person who incorporated a company, that is not a promoter. As per law, there are 3 words. First word is called as the person who has been named in the prospectus. Second word, he has a control over the affairs of the company. And third, his instruction, direction, and controllers are important to perform the business. So what I'm trying to say again, whatever you said till now is not wrong. But as per law, it is not right also. As per law, who is the promoter? The person who takes steps, and all this thing is not mentioned there. It is just said that, right? Then what promoter does? What are the functions of a promoter? Very simple. Whatever you said. So conceive the idea, doing the company to operating, taking the subscriber, making memorandum, articles, everything. Simple. Going to the bank, taking the loan, calling the broker, taking the property, everything will be done by the promoter. So yes, promoter is same. What you said, what you understand till now is a promoter, not an issue in that. Right, great, perfect. The third point is very important point. Promoter's contract. Promoter's contract. What is that promoter's contract? Now, what is the point here? Actually, law says that a promoter should incorporate a company and he should do all the acts when the company is incorporation, after incorporation. But what promoter did, let me tell you the example. I'll tell you with the example that will be better to understand. Let me tell you like this. Okay, what promoter did, let me tell you here. Okay, so today is the date, let's say 19th June. There are 3 promoters, A, B, and C. These 3 people started a company. What they did, they filled up the form number, run, spice. I hope you have heard about all this thing, right? So they started a company. They filled up the form, run, spice, everything. They started this, and I hope you know to do all the steps and everything. It takes time, and the company will incorporate on 30th June 2020. 30th June. So there's a gap between 11 days. So what promoter should do? They should wait for 30th June to get their COI, certificate of incorporation. But what promoter did? This ABC, what they did? They entered into contract with me. ABC. They came to me and said, Tushar sir, will you supply us the land or the building or all this thing? They made a contract with me. I'm asking you, what is the value of this contract? Because when they came to me as a contract, they said that the company name is ABC Limited. Whereas that company has not been incorporated yet. So what is the answer of this contract? Yes, void ab initio, no value at all, everything. Bilkul right, bilkul perfect, everything is perfect, everything is right. But once the company come into picture on 30th June, on 1 July, 1 July, the BOD of the company accept this contract between we people, will it be valid or invalid? If after 1st July, there is a first board meeting of the company between the BOD, and the BOD discussed all this thing and they understood that this contract was good. Can they accept this contract? Answer is yes, they can do that. That is called as ratification of contract. If they can accept it, provided the condition is that ABC, when they enter into contract, they should write in the contract that the contract is provisional, or you can say preliminary contract. And the contract was done between this party, but after the company will incorporate, will come into picture, the contract will be taken care by the BOD. If these people write all this thing, then contract can be ratified. Ratified. Right? So this is called as pre-incorporation contract, pre-incorporation or preliminary contract. At the first instance, everyone was said right. At the first instance, the contract was void ab initio. At the first instance. Why, sir? Because the company which has not been into existence, जो चीज पैदा ही नहीं हुई है, जो company बनी ही नहीं है, a company which has not been into picture, how can you contract with that name? How can you contract with that name? That's true. That's perfectly right. Void ab initio. From the beginning, it is void. But when the promoters A, B, C, while making the contract, mentioned this, that this contract was made by ABC, but this is for the benefit of ABC Limited, and the company can ratify the contract once the company will be incorporated. In that case, the contract can be valid. Understand this line. Read this statement, what I'm talking about. And listen to this line. As long as the company does not ratify, what happens after 1 July, which I told you example in the previous slide, on 1 July, if the company doesn't ratify, then who will be liable? Will be the company be liable? No, sir. That time ABC will be liable. The individually A, B, and C will be liable, not the company. But on 1 July, if the company ratifies the contract, then company will be liable, like this. Right? Perfect. Chalo. Let's go ahead then. Then what's the position of promoter? I hope you have heard about this also. What is the position of promoter? Who is the promoter in the company? Now, sir, he is not an agent. He is not a trustee also. He is not an agent. He is not a trustee also. Then who is the promoter? Law says the promoter is occupying a fiduciary position. So what is the meaning of fiduciary position? It means position of trust. Now you will say, sir, what is the comedy? Right now you said he is not a trustee. Here you said he is not a trustee. Now you are saying he is occupying position of trust. What is the comedy? What is the comedy here? Right now I said within 2 seconds, before 2 seconds, that he is not a trustee of the company. But when I'm saying he occupies a fiduciary position, when we see the word fiduciary in dictionary, the meaning of fiduciary means trust, position of trust. So what is the difference between trustee and trust? Quickly tell me, if anyone can try. What is the difference between this word? Right now I said promoter is not a trustee. Then how can promoter have a position of trust? Very comedy. Very contradictory words. Two things are opposite to each other. The trustees of the temple. Acha. Trustees person who, okay, works in good faith, who holds trust. Okay. Trust is a promise. Okay. Trust is a belief. Okay. Simple answer. Is Tushar Pade your trustee? Is Tushar Pade your trustee? Your means the people who are watching video, around 180 people are watching video. Am I your trustee? No. Everyone saying no. Perfect answer. Do you have a trust on me? Do you have a trust on me? Whatever I'm teaching you is right. You are getting the good marks in exams. Do you have a trust on me? कुछ नालायक लोग अभी बोल रहे no. कुछ नालायक बोले तुषार सर no, we don't trust you. Good. Anyways, do you have a trust on me? Yes. So I am your trustee then. So I am a trustee then. Right? So I hope you understood my example. I hope you understood the example. Trust and trustee are two different things. Trustee is someone which has been created. Understand मेरी बात को समझ अच्छे से, आज समझ जाएंगे. Trustee is something which has been created. Understand the word, which has been created. And trust is something which is there, which is automatic. Has anyone said you? Has anyone said you that please trust on Tushar Pahade? Have I told you that please trust on me? No, never. I have never said to you that please trust on me. No one said to you, but you have a trust on me. But in this example, you need to create it. Trustee has been created. Trust is automatic. You have a trust on someone. When your father has helped you to ride a bicycle in the early days of your life, in your childhood, you never asked your father that, Father, will you help me? Will you save me from falling from the bicycle or not? You have never asked him. It is what? It is obvious. It is obvious that you know that your father will never do wrong with you. It is obvious, right? So that is called as trust. Trust is automatic, and that is why I'm saying whenever the work is done by promoter, we have a trust on the promoter that promoter will never do wrong with the company, because promoter is very similar to example of a mother. If I compare example of a promoter with a mother, so how I will compare with example of a promoter and mother? Right? If I take example of a promoter and a mother has a newborn baby. Not a newborn baby also. Let's take example of a unborn baby. Unborn baby who has yet to be born, but he is into the womb of that mother, that lady. Is similar example of a promoter and a company. Same example. I hope इससे बड़ी example आपको दे सकता नहीं मैं. You will not get a better example like this. A mother and an unborn baby, a promoter and a company. A company is a person, yes sir. Unborn baby is a person, yes sir. Once it will be come into the existence, will it be a separate person? Yes sir. Company, separate person. Who takes the effort to bring that baby into life? That mother. Does that baby tells the mother that please take care of yourself? Do not lift the heavy articles and all this thing, otherwise I may die. No one tells. She knows everything. Similarly, no one tells to the promoter to do all this thing. Company has a trust on the promoter, and company is not a trustee. We have a trust on the promoter. That promoter will never do wrong for the company. The same example like a mother does for a baby. In that was which baby? Unborn baby. Or even after becoming into incorporation, the company comes into picture. Similarly, a baby has a birth. A company has a incorporation. A mother takes care. After 3 years, this baby goes to a play school. Now the person who takes care of the baby in the play school charges fees. Yes, sir. She charges fees because it's a business of that person. But the mother charges fees of this kid. No, never. Similarly, promoter, we have a trust on the promoter. I hope you understood this example. This example, a very beautiful example to understand the concept of this, right? Today is not a last class. We have a class on Sunday, 7:30 p.m. AM, not PM. Very important, because people confuse on PM AM. 7:30 AM. Sunday means 21st June. We will cover the second part of company law. In this, we'll discuss the meeting and all, right? Meetings, directors and all. right? So I hope you understood this word. Then duties is very simple. Remuneration, I told you right now, remuneration. Promoters do not have a right to earn remuneration. It's a simple example that a mother charges fees from the kid. या जब बच्चा बड़ा हो जाएगा, he will become 18 years of age, then mother will give the bills of that Huggies, the bills of that powder, Himalaya, Johnson powder, right from the beginning. The complete bill will be paid, given to that person of 18 years of age. How bad it will look? How bad it will look if the mother shows everything like this? No. No one does for the money. No one means that mother at least doesn't do for money, and similarly promoter never charges the fees from the company, right? Okay. Anyways, so how to form a company? Very simple. How to form a company? So how many people should be there in a company? Everyone knows. I'll cover it very quickly. Kanak Bajaj in Zoom on WebEx, same Zoom, and you need to wake up early morning. Yes, but then if you like this class, then you need to wake up early morning. Then you will not miss something. If you think it is boring, then it's better to have a good sleep in the early morning. No need to wake up at 7:30 a.m. Right? Anyways, so 7 or more people in public company. In private company, how many people should be there? Minimum 2, and in public OPC we had 1 person. So 1 in OPC, 2 in private, and 7 in public company. I know all this. You know all this thing. That's why I'm not teaching you all these provisions, right? How to incorporate a OPC? What is OPC? How many members are there? Minimum 1 member, maximum 1 member. Members in OPC, minimum 1, maximum 1. Directors can be anyone. Member should be 1. Member should be 1. What is the capital of the OPC? 50 lakh rupees capital and 2 crore rupees. 2 crore rupees of turnover, right? Who can incorporate OPC? The person who incorporate OPC should be required to should be having a normal person. First is normal, Indian citizen, resident of India. 3 words to be important. So if I ask you, Bill Gates, who is staying in India from past 6 years, want to incorporate OPC, what you will suggest to Bill Gates? Bill Gates को क्या बोलेंगे आप? He is staying in India from past 6 years, and because he is staying in India from past 6 years, he is a Indian resident, and he is a natural person. Bill Gates is a human being, but Bill Gates is not an Indian citizen, right? Ketan Bhandari, very good. India Gate बोलेंगे. India Gate बोलेंगे. Bill Gates if stays in India, he will become India Gate. Great. So anyways, yes, he should stay more than 182 days. So he is staying from past 6 years. So because he is staying from past 6 years, what he become? He become resident, he become natural person, but he will never become Indian citizen. He is not right now Indian citizen. He is Indian resident, not Indian citizen, right? Great. So all these points are to be remembered there. Then I'll not teach right now MOA, AOA. I hope you know about MOA, AOA. What is memorandum? The main document which talks about the 6 documents. I'll quickly cover it. 6 things. What are 6 clauses? 6 clauses of MOA. The first one is name clause, which talks about the name of the company. Second one is a register office, which talks about the state in which the company has been incorporated. Third one is object clause. The company which is doing the business which company does is the object clause. Fourth is liability clause. Liability of members is limited or unlimited. Fifth one is capital clause, which talks about which capital, authorized capital. And the last one is the clause of subscriber. Subscriber means the company which has been incorporated by that. If I show you the example just for practically, let me take you to, I'll just show you Reliance Industries MOA. See, I'll show you, you'll understand also very important thing. Even Reliance Industries has been not incorporated by Ambani, not even by Dhirubhai Ambani. This is the Reliance Industries MOA. You can even go and check it out. You can download it, right? It's available in Google. Just what I did is I just put a name and then I downloaded it, right? It's the MOA. What is the first clause? The first clause is the name of the company is RIL, Reliance Industries Limited. What is that? Name clause. Clause number 2 is company कहाँ पर है? State of Maharashtra. You do not explain the full address of the state. Only company. Only you explain the state. If they ask you MCQ, what comes in register office clause, you do only say state, not the address, exact address, nothing. Only the state in which company is situated, right? Then third is object clause. It talks about the company does which object, which business of the company is there. So it will be there in this clause, point number 3. Lamba chauda hoga, 50-55 item would be there. 20-30 item are there, or 30-31, whatever. Then the fourth clause is what? Liability clause. What is the liability of the members? Limited. And the fifth clause is capital clause. How much amount? Bapre. 15,000 crore rupees is the capital. 15,000 crore. You can't even read the number of zeros. 15,000 crore. Out of that, 14,000 crore is equity shares and 1,000 crore is, I guess, preference shares. Right? Yeah. 14,000 crore is 1,400 crore. Sorry, 1,400 crore is equity shares and 100 crore is like this, right? Small company, yeah. And very beautiful thing. This is the last clause called as subscriber clause, right? Subscriber clause. And if you see the name of the subscribers, can you see name of the subscriber? It was Shivanjappa, Devappa, Ramayya, Sita Ramayya, Ramesh Pai, Ramdas Pai. Everyone belongs to South. I hope you can see Bangalore. Everyone is from Bangalore. And if you see date of incorporation, 1973. So what I'm trying to say, everyone started the company in Bangalore, and there is nothing called as Dhirubhai Ambani or Mukesh Ambani or this. So the people who said promoter, remember who is the promoter? The person who incorporated company. If you talk about this, these are the people who are promoter. But today, Ambani, what Ambani did? Ambani purchased the company from these people. Then he converted the name, and then aisa karte karte today the company is, you know what is the level of company. So I hope you would be liking this exo. I'm giving you the practical aspects, how to show the Reliance Industries and all this thing. I hope you appreciate this example, right? Whatever we discussed. Name clause I told you, register office I told you. What you should write? Only the state. Only the state should be written in the what? And I thought that Reliance was started by Dhirubhai Ambani. No, I have shown you the real example. It was not fake. I just did it Google. It's not like that I have modified you just to show you. You can do it yourself. You can find it out. Object clause I told you, which company does which object, right? Because if I write Tata Steel, so company Tata Steel Limited, what company does? So steel. What steel? What steel? Steel what? Steel ke bartan? Steel ke chabiya? Do they make the keys of steel? What steel? So steel is a big word. Raw steel. Steel bucket. What? So you need to understand the steel means not the normal word which we saw. Steel has a big wider word. So you need to put in the memorandum. So what type of steel, which category of steel, what you are doing actually in that steel. Because the layman person will say, so steel matlab kya? Kuch bhi ho sakta hai. Yes. Construction, whatever the word loha, we say loha, iron, is not iron actually in construction. We call it steel. So steel is a very wider word. So understand like capital clause we discussed. Article, same. So we discussed all this thing. So anyways, and then lastly, how to incorporate a company. So I told you for company incorporation, you need to make sure that first of all, you need to fill up a form called as RUN. RUN ka full form hai reserve unique name. You need to fill up a RUN form, reserve unique name, right? Everything has been changed from 2018. So now we have Spice plus everything. And for that, you need to fill up a form called as RUN. If I show you again with the website as usual, which I'm doing every time. If I take you to website of MCA, right? Let me show you better. So I hope you can see this. Right. It's the website of MCA. I'll open one more time. MCA. I'll come here. I hope you can see there. I hope you can see this. I'm putting a cursor on this. RUN. I hope you can see this. So let me click it. If I click here, If we click here, let me fill up my user ID. Okay, it will take time now. Let me put the CAPTCHA code, FISNGST. Great. So I can open this now, right? I hope you can see this. These are the companies which I am doing work. All these companies for which I have done incorporation and all this thing and everything written here, right? These are so many companies which I'm doing, right? Around 55 entries are there. If you see, 55 things are there. It is my dashboard, right? Okay. So if I want to incorporate a company now, like let's go to that run. Look, like this, the form will open. Like this, the form will open. And then you need to fill up that which name you want to go. You want to go for SIN number. What is the name of your company? Let's say Tushar Pahade Academy. I want to start with this company, right? You want to put a one more name like this. So you can do all this thing. And then we can go for auto check, right? And then comment everything. And then lastly, we will submit the form. Submit the form. So this is how we incorporate a company. But right now, not a company right now. We just incorporate, we just take the name of a company. Name of a company. Run form. Once you're done with the run form, then you need to fill up the SPICE form, right? Here we have a step number 2, and for that we have to fill up some documentation. INC 9, which is called a declaration by the subscribers, DIR2 declaration by the directors, right? NOC from the property. Let's say you have a property and which is rented property, so you need to go and take the NOC from the landlord, and for that you need to take a NOC, no objection certificate, right? So like this, and bills and all. Then you will fill up the SPICE plus 32, and then for memorandum article you need to fill up 2 forms, 33 and 34 for AOA, 33 for MOA, 34 for AOA. And once you do all this thing, you need to fill up all the forms to the ROC, and the moment you do all this thing, you will get a COI, certificate of incorporation, right guys? And lastly, you will get a SIN number. I hope you have heard about SIN number. SIN number, corporate identification number, SIN number. Let me show you the COI also. I hope you have seen sometimes COI. कभी देखा है COI आपने? COI, certificate of incorporation. I have kept for you so that you can see it better. If you want, I can make it a zoom also so that you can see it better. All right. Right. The name of the company is Bung, Buildcon, and Firetech वगैरह. And if you see this one, this is a SIN number. U45309 MH 2019 PTC 330200. So let me tell you, decode it. When we say U, is it listed or unlisted? Whether company listed or unlisted, like this. Then 45309 is the activity code. Activity code. Then MH means obviously Maharashtra. 2019 means year of incorporation. PTC means private company, and this is the registration number. So like this, we have a category of 21 digit. I have written everything here. Like first digit is listing status, listed or unlisted. Next 5 is the activity code. Then next 2 digit is a state code, MH or TN or PB, like this. Like next 4 digit, year of incorporation, 2019, 15, whatever. Next 3 digit, ownership. It can be OPC or PLC, but the private company, or PTC means private company, and PLC means public company, like this. Right? And lastly is a sequential number assigned by the ROC. So these are the 21 digit number. You should remember this, and you can anytime find it out. If I again go to take you to the example of Reliance quickly for 1 minute. Look, if you show you the MOA of Reliance, you should see the name of Reliance also. Look, earlier the company name was Manlion Limited when the company was incorporated. Then Manlion company became what? here. This one, Reliance Textiles Industry Limited. Mannon was changed to Reliance Industries Limited, like this. And then the company became Reliance Textiles Limited, the same company. And lastly, this is the COI, latest one. Reliance Textiles Industry Limited, like this. Mannon, all this thing. So I hope you understood the meaning of SIN number, corporate identification number, right? Great. That's it. So we have shown you the SIN number also. That was the last page which we discussed. So by this we have ended with the topic of first part, which ends with the company incorporation, or you can say incorporation of a company, whatever, right? So we did in last 2 hours almost, we have completed the whole part which you have been allotted to me.